Haley, what is wrong with me?
Hey, are you doing a show?
Get out of here. Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers. It's Tuesday, and I'm your ever-loving blue-eyed comic book guy, Mitch Harmon. You guys know what's up. Mitch's Picks. From Marvel Comics, Ghost Panther, #1, written by Jed MacKay, art done by Heffy Paulo. In this one with the Infinity Warps, I'm sure you guys have known by now, Gamora has folded the universe in half, and we're having crossovers of heroes, and this is no different. Black Panther and Ghost Rider, it is based around T'Challa, Prince of Wakanda, but he is, much like many young princes, a little too headstrong, a little too spoiled, and so his father banishes him from Wakanda, which then he finds solitude in America, working for a guy who basically puts on these Daredevil shows, and he takes the new name Johnny Blaze as his Daredevil stuntman. But of course things go awry, and he has to make a deal in order to save his life, which then in case he finds out that his father was killed and needs to go back to Wakanda. This is just like all the other Infinity Warps, this is just a two-parter, crossing over elements from the Ghost Rider series and the Black Panther series. But it's really interesting, and all the Infinity Warps are really fun, guys. Check it out. From Boom Comics, Smooth Criminals, #1, written by Kurt Lustgarten and Christian Smith, art done by Alicia Riddle. This book is set actually in 1999. Brenda, she just has dreams of being the world's best hacker, but right now she has to settle working for some IT company, just crunching numbers pretty much. But she's very, very talented at what she does, but no one seems to really appreciate it for her. As a matter of fact, her boss actually has her go clean out a room as opposed to helping do, stuff that she was technically hired for. But as she's cleaning out this old government server room, she comes across what looks like a chamber, in which case she opens it up, and a woman falls out. A woman who seems very disoriented and not really sure what's going on. And it turns out that we're not really sure why she was cryogenically frozen, but it's Mia Corsair, which was the 1969's world's best cat burglar, who is now trying 30 years later to get back into finishing her ultimate heist. And she is asking Brenda to possibly help. Actually, Brenda just wants to help out because she's tired of her old, boring job. And Mia Corsair is looking like it's going to give her that spark of adventure that she's been wanting in her life. This is a new series coming out of Boom Studios. It's a very kind of self-explanatory story so far, but I'm very interested in why she was cryogenically frozen, what's going on with this. But, we'll have to see where it goes, guys. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Web of Venom, Carnage Born, written by Donny Cates, art done by Danilo Beyruth. For those of you not following the Web of Venom stuff, there's a lot of crazy things going on. The resurrection of the original symbiote, Null, finding out of the Maker, all these crazy things going on in Venom's universe, and this is no different. This is not only giving you a backstory of Carnage and Cletus Cassidy, I should say, but also helping you set him up for the current run that's going on in Venom right now. There's if you follow the last Carnage series, this may be a little bit easier to kind of piece together. If not, there's a cult that believed Carnage was going to save them by introducing them into the Void, and believed that he would help usher that in by killing them all. He ended up being shot into space, though. Not really sure how. Never finished the series, but he is back, and now he has part of Null's symbiote, which allows him to, regenerate, come back from the dead, so to speak. This is only a one-shot part of the Web of Venom stuff, such as Venom and the First Host are part of the Web of Venom stuff. Not necessary, but I highly recommend this, guys. Pretty rad. Check it out. From Image Comics, Middle West, #1, written by Scotty Young, art done by Jorge Corona. Abel, main character of the story, he's just a regular kid growing up in the Middle West, got a paper route, although in this issue he did oversleep a little bit and his dad's not very happy about it. Abel seems to be conflicted. He's trying to enjoy his life there, but his dad doesn't seem to enjoy him being around. And I'm not really sure what the direction of the story is going to be, to be honest. Abel likes where he lives, but he's always talking about how the wind feels so violent. And so there is a little bit of a spin of mysticism into this story. It is by Scotty Young. You know how he likes having those little kids going on adventures, discovering themselves, all this crazy stuff. This does look like it's almost Wizard of Oz, but set on Earth, I guess you could say, in the Midwest. But even then, I feel like that's probably a poor example because we're still trying to figure out, this was just basically world building. All we know is that Abel is, he is conflicted about how he feels about his father, his mother running away, and there's this giant cloud demon that keeps haunting him. At least he thinks he sees it, but then kind of manifests itself a little later. Like I said, magic involved, guys, but it's really cool. Scotty Young, you gotta love it. Jorge Corona, wonderful art, guys. Check it out. From DC Comics, Wonder Woman, Volume 1, written by Brian Azzarello, art done by Cliff Chang. This is one of my favorite Wonder Woman stories, probably my favorite one, next to George Perez's run, that is. In this story, Wonder Woman is kind of redone, her origin's kind of redone. Instead of her being the clay baby that, I can never say her mom's name right, Hippolyta, she finds her on the beach. That was actually just a lie she told the Amazons. What really happened is that Zeus came and visited her that night and impregnated her, and Diana is the product of that. So Wonder Woman is no longer just clay baby brought about by magic. She's actually a demigod, half human, Amazonian. And it also opens a door because now she has a bunch of new, a whole bunch of new uncles and nieces and nephews and aunts and all kinds of family members, which is the pantheon of gods that she gets to interact with. And if anyone's reading the current Wonder Woman storyline and they happen to mention her about being the god of war, this is where this all takes place. Brian Azzarello's run was like 30-something issues. I highly recommend reading them all, guys. They are it's a wonderful book, wonderful writing, wonderful art. Check it out, guys. Don't forget, this weekend we got Black Friday going on. We're gonna have sales all throughout the store. Our paperbacks and our sets are going to be 30% off. And the big one, our back stock and our variants, excluding the hard to find ones, are going to be 50% off, guys. So definitely come in. Of course, we'll be doing sales on other things, blind boxes, toys, statues, but those are going to be all covered on the table of fun. So definitely go over there and check that out, what Brian and Evan had to say about that, guys. That's all my picks for this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.